Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Si. Welcome to Business and a Brew, a podcast dedicated to all things business with the occasional cuppa.
We take a business story, theory, or something we just want to chat about and give it a dusting of our own special personality and sense of humour, combined with our experience and knowledge. We're both business graduates and have run our own businesses for many years. We can't wait for you to listen. Hello.
Hello. Are we on air? Yes, we are.
Yeah. We're going to do something different today.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk to each other. I know we always talk to each other.
But they're kind of quick comments, aren't they? We're going to have a conversation today.
We're going to have a conversation.
Thing is, I have not got a clue what you're going to start talking about. I really haven't.
Well, you might have nothing to say about it, in which case it could be a very short conversation. Yes. So, I'm going to pose a question, and then I'm going to give a statistic to start us thinking about the topic. So my question is, do you have to be crazy to start your own business? Okay, that's my question. So, in 2023, because this was the last stat I could find in the UK, over 800,000 new businesses were registered.
Yeah.
Yet 20% of those fail in the first year and 60% fail within 5 years.
Yes.
So the first thing we should do is give ourselves a little silent high five that doesn't ruin the podcast recording for the fact that both of us have had very long running businesses, much longer than the failure rate. Yay for us.
Yeah.
Statistically, entrepreneurs are twice as likely to report symptoms of depression. I don't know if that's because we do it alone. I don't know what it is. So my question is, do you have to be mental to start your own business? Does it require a certain level of cray-cray that other people don't have?
What's the expression you see? You see a sticker somewhere on the wall. You don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps.
You've got that in your office.
I have to take it down. My honest appraisal of that is that actually you set out with best intentions, where you are completely sane, and then gradually your sanity is chipped away at over the years.
You go insane. Running a business makes you go insane.
No, but you are functioning most often by yourself. You know, as an owner, if you have co-owners, you spread some of that, the weight of responsibility around. But when you start if you start out operating alone, you work by yourself continuously. Yeah,
and there's no one else to rely on.
There's a lot of control that you have. Obviously, you have control over yourself. Yeah. But of course, because there's a huge number of one-person businesses.
Yes.
But I suspect that they get their support from networks of people.
You do have to build a network around you, because I did it, and it was just me at my dining table, and it did become incredibly lonely. Yeah. You had your clients, but you can only talk to them about certain things, about client things or about their lives. You don't really start going, and I've had a really shite day and so hasn't paid my invoice. You need contemporaries. You do. You need people to kind of water down some of it, because sometimes a certain amount of resentment can build up, which is, you have a tough time with a client. The first thing you would like to do actually is just go and talk to someone else about it. Yeah. But there are people out there that don't need that. They don't need the involvement of other people. They're making all the decisions. They have a single narrow-minded in the right way. I don't mean in the wrong way, but a absolute focus on what they're doing. Focus, yeah.
Their focus is, I am doing this. That is all I'm doing. I'm going to do that, and then I go and get my external kicks by doing something else, going to the golf course, playing squash, going to network,
whatever
meetings,
it is
that kind
they
of thing.
Do,
But yeah, someone like me, and I would say someone like you as well, because we are both, we both get a lot from other people.
Yeah, we're social people.
Energy from other people. Certainly, I have felt like I'm going bonkers over the years, but I have co-director, and I have members of staff, I have team members and freelancers, and I am constantly in contact with them. Yeah. But it's often just about the operational side of things, and I will often say, Russ and I being business partners, I can not see him for weeks, but every time we meet, we are just talking about production. We're just talking about the job. Yeah. And we're not actually coming out of that. So
it's a bit like when you've got mum friends and all you talk about is your kids.
It's very, very similar, I think.
It's so It's
I mean,
you're
viewing your clients as the children that you're looking after.
That's correct. But it also depends, I suppose, why you started or how you started your business. Like yours was intentional. You had an idea.
Kind of feels like I fell into it, really.
Yes, but you intentionally started a business.
Yes, no, I did.
You saw the hole and went, going to jump in there.
We have talked about our individual histories in this, but yeah, you're right. There was an intention. There was a I think I can do this better if I do it for myself rather than someone else.
Yeah. There's got to be a certain madness in that.
There is a certain madness. There is. Yeah. But actually, as it turned out, it was right. I suppose the thing is, you're never prepared. You think you're prepared because you work for someone else and you do the thing for someone else.
Yeah.
But actually, you're not fully prepared for the weight and the load of the stuff that you have to deal with. I would have the conversation with the members of my team. I remember having the conversation with one of them. I think was getting a little bit fed up at one point, saying I might as well work for myself. And I said, do you realise that if you work for yourself, what you're doing now is you're spending 80% of your time here doing the thing you love, which is programming.
Yeah.
You go and work for yourself, you're going to spend only probably 40% or 50%
and eventually
of the time.
Potentially any of it.
Yeah, but you're then going to have to deal with the marketing, the sales, the debt chasing, the HR, all the other things that come into running a business, banking.
Is this because you didn't want to lose him as an employee? I feel like this poor guy was like, I want to do it for myself.
I just paused to answer. Actually, I didn't want to lose him as an employee because he was a brilliant person. He just needed to be heard, and I heard him and I talked to him, but I was just giving him a dose of the reality, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said this before. I took GCSE, A-level and a degree in business studies, and literally not 1 minute of the reality is anything like the theory.
No.
Nothing I learned prepared me, and I was like, oh, I'm well qualified for this. I've learned all the theories. No.
Yeah, but qualified, yes, to understand all the parts of a business.
I knew what I needed to do. I knew what bits had to be in place.
All those bits, yeah. And knowing that, you know, because when you work for someone else, you pick up transferable skills, and often they are skirting into those various departments. But I think what I learned was that you don't do everything yourself. You delegate a certain amount of it. Yeah. And that correct delegation means that you're not. We're going to do one on management anyway. But it's the passing over of something to someone who is better served to do it or better experienced to do it.
But that bit's hard when you've started it yourself and you've been doing it yourself.
But handing the bookkeeping over to a bookkeeper or to an accountant, my goodness, that released me from so much. I don't have to worry so much about that. HR, I don't really have to deal with because I had a HR kind of thing in the background. But I think HR is often, for me, I would never take on a HR agency because we're so small. But actually, an awful lot of HR is actually good management, and good leadership,
good relationships, and knowing that people can talk to you if they need to. Yeah.
And I think the HR department, the function of it, particularly for a small business, is often not needed. Some might say, though, HR specialists might say that actually it's where it's needed more. Because actually,
I think it depends on the type of business.
Of the business and the business owner. If the business and the business owner is sensitive to the needs of the workforce.
You've got a really interesting culture in your business where you have essentially unlimited time off, but a discretionary time off. People can choose what they want to have and when. You have your once a month celebration Fridays. Yeah. You look after your people really, really well.
Because the way I look at it, and maybe that's my madness coming across. It's like I'd like to be treated that myself, so I kind of just.
And you never have, I suppose, in your work. So you built a business that you felt typified what you.
Yeah, I took the best bits of the places I'd worked at before.
Okay.
Like the agency I worked at before I set up mine, they actually had a regular end of month lunch, or every other month, or whatever it was, or whatever celebration it was, winning a project, from completing a project. can actually find a celebration for everything. Can you?
You can. It's Friday. Woo!
But it's the culture side of it is really important. That becomes a cultural artifact. So it's there, and it's there for a reason.
But most people will tell you that's not important. Yeah. So in your own way, you were a bit like, well, these are the rules, but you know what? I'm going to do this instead, which is a bit of madness.
Well, the rules are, come in on time, do a full day's work, don't do anything that
don't go to the toilet unless you really have to.
Yes, put your hand up and leave at the prescribed time. And that's it. That's your job.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who still have to work that way. They are required to work that way. There's clocking on, clocking off, particularly in the corporate world. Thinking about things like call centres, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yes, I can understand why that would be the case, but also I know that progressive, forward-thinking corporates bring in an element of that to ensure that their culture is supportive and mutually inclusive. To help with the natural kind of wastage that goes on. You get people that leave because of
life reasons.
But it's often, I don't know whether it's because of madness, but your original question, you have to be mad to set up your own business.
Yeah.
I think not, but I think that little bit of madness from traumas along the way kind of does come in.
I think it helps.
I think it grows.
I think it helps me a lot because you've got to put up with a lot. There's a lot of give and take. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of strain. Yeah. You have to put yourself out your comfort zone. You have to do things that other people wouldn't do. Even down to the marketing where you're on social media acting like a lunatic to get attention, to stand out. I am,
yeah. Particularly you.
Yeah, yes. I enjoy it. Yeah. I like to get my energy and personality across.
No, quite. No, I get that. Oh my God, yeah. And I've seen what you do, and it's. I don't know where you get it from.
Just sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night like, yes, a blanket on my head. That's a great idea. I don't know.
I'm going to make this fit with the particular subject. Yeah.
It's bizarre though, because 10 years, more and more of my personality has come out. When I first recorded reels, I stood against a white wall and put a full face of makeup on. Now I don't even bother with that. Now they can watch me do my hair.
Yeah.
I think it's allowed me to grow as a person and grow into my personality.
Does this mean that there is a loosening of the rules? The more you get into the role of a business owner, it isn't actually a form of madness that occurs. It's a form of, well, I've kind of done it this way, and if I kind of you're this way or that way. You've
got to find your audience, your people, your tribe. Not your audience, that's the wrong word, your tribe. Because if you are surrounded by people going, why is she doing that? You're an accountant and you're the only one that's acting a bit wacky on reels and everyone's going, oh my God, why is she standing out like that? Accountants don't behave like that. You're not going to ever feel comfortable. But if you're surrounded by other people who are like, oh my God, you made me laugh out loud this morning. I know exactly what you're talking about. When I'm big enough, I need you to do my accounts. Yeah, you are going to feel more comfortable. And I think that's part of the reason. It's taken me a long time to find the right rooms with the right people in them. Quite. When you find those places, you're validated? No, that's not even the right word. I don't want validated. Supported. Right. You're held in a very safe space and you can be whoever the hell you want to be and you can make mistakes.
Yeah, but you've made your own safe space.
Yes. And I've invited certain people in.
Yeah.
It's not very big. It's like one of those really intimate weddings where I only allow 3 guests. A bit more than 3.
That's really intimate.
It is really intimate, yeah.
Bridegroom and
the officiant. Yeah.
Right,
so it's you can build that space and I think it allows for madness. I don't think I must have been slightly crazy to start with.
Yeah, but we're throwing a term around here, madness. And, and being mad, but it's a humorous way of putting it that are dealing with some of the traumas of the journey.
Yes.
And it can be a client where you get that trauma. It can be HMRC being particularly horrible. It could be an accident at work. It could be a member of staff where every single one of those elements becomes part of a learning experience. You won't have encountered any of those in your previous roles.
No, and even some
all of a sudden you're on your own to deal with those.
When you have an unproductive day and you're looking around for someone to tell you off, and no one's going to tell you off because it's just you, so you end up berating yourself.
And that's a big one.
Yeah, there is a lot of internal dialogue that goes on.
If you're conscientious enough, and that's, I don't know how many businesses fail. Is it 50% in 5 years?
20% in the first year and 60% within 5 years.
Okay, yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And though that breakdown, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of reasons why.
Oh yeah, it won't be just. I mean, in theory, it could be increased rents in property or whatever. But yes, in theory, there will be a number of little straws, and then that one thing happens, and you just have a melt. I mean,
there'll also be an admission along the way that some people just should never run a business. They should never run a business. Their business doesn't belong, let's say, in the high street because it's not relevant, or
so they've got a bad idea or badly managed, exactly. But that must mean then we've all got something in us, like a little something, like a little spark of something that makes us capable of doing this successfully.
Well, do you know what it is for me?
Is it magic? Is it fate? No? No.
Funny you should say that.
No.
It's terror.
Sorry?
It's terror.
What?
It's fear of failure.
I don't think that's that's very unique to you.
No. I think a lot of business people's motivations, of course, built on the right stuff, which is doing the right thing, keeping promises, always being there, supporting. But actually, behind all of that, those promises and that upfront communication of the things that we do and how we do them and why we do them and how we build our team around us. We're not doing it, but we're doing it for success, but we're doing it and actually really trying to work very hard to avoid the horror of failing as well.
Yeah, I suppose I never thought of
I don't know whether that's just me. It won't be just me. There'll be a lot of business people out there that are terrified of failure. Now, you've got people like presidents of other countries. They cast it aside as being something that actually is just a natural part of life.
Yeah, I suppose failure to me would be different because, I suppose I've never looked at it as failure. I couldn't go back to doing a 9 to 5 now. I never wanted to go back to a toxic environment. I never wanted to be bullied. No. I never wanted to have inflexibility. So I suppose if my business fails, that is the result of failure for me. So yeah, I suppose it does drive me.
Yeah.
But I also love what I do.
It's like something giving you a little kick every now and then. I've got to avoid that because I don't want it to, I'm always constantly looking at the figures at the bottom line, looking at where the next project's coming from. That is absolutely to keep myself and my business as far away from a point of failure. You think about inventors, how they invent. They thrive on failure to make the invention as perfect as they can.
I still think there's got to be a degree of passion and excitement. I love what I do. Like, I genuinely love what I do. I get excited. I know you do. So maybe you've got to be a little bit scared, a little bit passionate, and just a little bit crazy. Yeah. With some magic.
I think we're both agreed on that.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that then.
Yeah. Now, do you want to wind it up at that?
Yeah, I feel like you've answered my question.
All right, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks for supporting us by downloading and listening to this episode.
And a massive thank you also to Donnie, Emily, Nat and Lewis and the BTD Studios for all your expertise in bringing our podcasting dream to reality.
We'd love it if you commented on this episode, as we'd really like to know what you think and what you might like us to cover in future episodes.
And we'll see you on the next one.